Yo, what's up YouTube? It's the Dreamcast blog here, and let's see what we have under the tree for Christmas. Alright. Got some dog treats for the dogs. Present for me. I don't know what it is. And, whoa, what's that? Oh, the best for all Sega Saturn. I'm so happy. Can't wait to open this up.
We've come a long way. But are you ready for the future? Sega Saturn.
So, I got a Sega Saturn for Christmas. Kind of. So I was going to this game store. It's kind of like a game store, DVD store, whatever, but I saw this. They had a Sega Saturn in stock. So I mean not like new or anything. They just had a used one like in the back, and I was like, "Oh, can I see it?" They're like, "Okay." So they bring it out, and it's in the box. And you know how I like stuff in the box, so I had to buy it, and I got it for $40. It's a pretty good deal, and I bought $40 worth of games with it too. It was like, I think I bought like 20 games additional with it. So yeah, I got some games, but I don't have that in here. That'll be a separate review. So let's unbox this, and sorry for the shaky camera work. I don't have my tripod because my phone does not like mount to my tripod for some reason, because it doesn't have a hole actually. So that's the reason right there. So I'm gonna try to do this best like one-handed right now. Okay. Okay, let me actually get my use my like left hand. I'm like, oh, it's not good. Alright, so there we go. It's out of the box now. Now we lift this up. And it would have came with Virtual Fighter, the first one, but mine didn't, because it was used obviously, so come with that. But here we go. We have the Sega Saturn itself and the stuff. So let's open this up. So we have the Sega Saturn controller. We'll get to that in a second. We have the just component AV or composite, just component. I don't know what it is. AV cables or whatever. They're pretty good. I really want an S video because I think that's the best one you can get for a Sega Saturn. So I really want an S video cable because that'd be awesome. It's way better than that. So, and we have the power cord, and if you did not know, Sega Saturn had a built-in power supply, so you just had this little tiny cord, which is awesome. You didn't have a little brick or anything. And right here, which I'm gonna leave in the box, is the Sega Saturn RF adapter thing. So if you have a really old TV, you want to use this, go ahead, but it's a piece of crap to me, honestly, so I don't need it. Now let's take the Sega Saturn out of the box. Oh, and if you haven't noticed yet, it is a Model 1, just because. I actually didn't even know there's two models to it. I just found that out recently, because the guy that had it, he had like a couple of Sega Saturns in there. He's like, "Do you want a Model 1 or 2? And I was like, well, just let me see the model, both of them. And then he brought this one out in the box, and the other one didn't have a box in it, so you know which one I'm going to go with, so yeah. So let's get to the console itself. It's really cool. I think it came out in 1994. I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with the Saturn and all. Just it came out, I think, 1994, 1995. Not sure. And I also know that something about it wasn't like, they kind of like surprised people, I guess, when they announced it, because they're like, oh, it's like you can buy it like right now as soon as they announced it. So I guess that kind of pissed people off. Other than that, Sega Saturn has 2 controller ports on the front, so that's pretty cool. Oh, and this is pretty cool also. It has a little cartridge slot back here, and no, it's not for the Sega Genesis cartridges. That'd be cool, but it's not. But it's for a memory expansion pack, or like a Game Shark, or whatever you want to do with it. It would give you an extra additional memory, and that's one thing I like about the Saturn over the PS1, is that this thing actually has built-in memory on it, unlike the PS1 where you have to buy memory cards. So that's a plus, I guess, even though you still have to buy a memory card if you run out of space on the internal spirit. This is internal space. So. And usually when you buy these, you're gonna have to replace the battery on them for the time and stuff, and to save games. So this little door over here opens up, and it's a little button cell battery, watch battery, or whatever. So they're pretty easy to get. They're like $2 at Walgreens or CVS or whatever is by you. So I'd suggest replacing that, because then you can save your games and have the correct time and everything on it. And right over here you have your. When I first saw that, it's like a communications port. When I first saw that, I thought that was actually for like the AV, because it kind of looked like the Dreamcast AV plug thing. You put that in there, but it's not. I was stupid at that time. So, and this is where the AV goes right here. You can't really see it, but that would be your AV input and stuff. And right here is your built-in power supply, which I love, honestly, because I hate having a friggin' box or something to plug into my outlet. And just open that up. Get a good look in there. And the Sega Saturn, give you what information I know about it, is that it was really good for 2D games. So that's what I know. And it has some great 3D games, like my all-time favorite game for any older system, well, for the Sega Saturn, other than Nights into Dreams and Panzer's Dragoon, is Croc. You guys might be saying it's like, oh, that game sucks. I'm like, no, it's pretty fun. I liked it on the PS1 a lot, and I got it for the Sega Saturn. They had it at a game store I went to for like $7, $8, I think, so I had to buy it. And yeah, so it plays pretty good on here, except, well, we'll get to the controller now, is this. Let me unwrap it. And once again, sorry for the shaky camera work. This is the Sega Saturn controller, the Model 1 controller. And a lot of people complain this is way too big, but I find that it fits really nice into the hand and it's really good. But the downside is the D-pad. What's wrong with the D-pad? Nothing. It's a great D-pad. It's a really good D-pad. But for playing like games like Croc, Panzer's Dragoon, and stuff like that, and Knights, especially that Knights game or whatever, you need to have the 3D controller that has an analog on it, because it's basically impossible to play it with these. Not really impossible, but it's just, look, if you're more used to the analog stick, it's going to be a lot easier for you. And I ordered one of those off of eBay in the box, so I'll be doing a unboxing as soon as that gets here. So that's the controller, 6 buttons, start, your basic controller. And a lot of people complain about this, and this is one of my complaints too, is that the little triggers right here at the top, or whatever, shoulder buttons, they're not really great, because if you click them right here where you think you'd click them, they don't click. You have to go back like this. So it's kind of weird, but I mean, that's the least of my worries, because not a lot of games actually, require this. But you know, you might find yourself seeing a game that requires this. But honestly, I don't know of any games that do. I think Knights, maybe. I'm not sure. They might use it. I'm not sure. But yeah, Sega Saturn controller, Sega Saturn, beast. So that is basically it for the unboxing. I will be doing some game reviews as soon as I get my PVR working and stuff, so I'll be recording it back up. And yeah, and my final thoughts on this is just, I would recommend getting this if you're a fan of any Sega system at all, like the Dreamcast or Genesis. But just beware when you get one of these that make sure you're buying from a reputable seller, like somebody on eBay that has some good feedback, and make sure you're getting a good price on it, because I've seen some of them are people overprice it because they're like, oh, it's so rare and stuff. I mean, it's not like a common game system to find, but if you're finding just the system itself with the controller and AV cords, I'd pay roughly about anywhere to $40 to $50 for it. But if you're paying more than that just for the system and the controller and all the cords, then I wouldn't do that, honestly. Unless that's your absolute option that you have to get. You can't get it anywhere else, which they do sell them on eBay. They have buy it nows right now for like $39.99 or $40 or $50. But yeah, so would I recommend getting this? Yes, I would, because it's a beast system. So thanks for watching my unboxing, and I will get to some gameplay videos of this, my Dreamcast games, and my Genesis games as soon as I get my PVR working. So thanks for watching.